Good evening, friends. So very nice to see you all joining in. I see lots of friends here. This is 10th episode of Wild Wild Slide Lounge section, and I was just waiting you all to join and just playing some music for you. Tonight, the person I'm inviting for this session, for this episode, is none other than a very, very good old friend of mine. We have been knowing each other since 20 plus years or so, and we had watched each other's life in so many ways, have watched us grow in so many ways, and I'm very proud to say that my dear friend who is the guest tonight has so beautifully evolved, transformed into such a beautiful person. She is right now doing amazing work. And her name is Veechi Shahi. She is right now in Athens, Greece, with her beloved, and she will be joining from there. And it really heartens me, gladdens my heart to see the work she has been doing. And now, without wasting much, simply invite her and let's see what she has to say about herself now. Hey Veechi,
Hi, Manish.
so glad to see you in this frame, and so delighted. Like I was just saying, my heart simply gladdens with joy. It's so much pride also, like I see when I see friends growing, evolving, then sharing what they have learned so far, because journey is endless and we would keep sharing and also stumbling and then also rising and then again sharing. It's a beautiful what do you say, riding the wave, like surfing. It's almost like surfing consciousness like this. And you are living almost on a beach city, I think, no? Athens has a lot of sea around
Yes.
it, and so it symbolizes very
Mm.
well. It also indicates a full circle for you in probably many ways. So, Vichi, how are you? Now it's your turn to say something, and I just don't know how to welcome you more because we are so far away, and uh, this is online Instagram. So instantly I send you my hugs, and you're most welcome here, Vichi.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you very much for inviting me here. And I was waiting and listening to your music. Like always, I feel your music is so melting. It's always touching my heart. And I just feel like, wow, it's brings me to my being so quickly. I was out, I had gone for lunch, and I came back. So was rushing around to come back and be on time so that I understand the technology well. So, and I don't miss the technology. And I was just centering myself, and just this little bit of strings that you were playing, just a few minutes of it, and felt like, wow, I can just be here. Yeah.
Yes. Uh, Now that you are here, Vichi, I would still want you to go a little bit back further in your life because
Yes.
although we had been good friends all along and we have known so many, watched each other from a distance, let's say, but I haven't yet known your let's say like childhood situations or how you grew up and what were the things which brought you into this spiritual awakening of sorts and the spiritual journey, let's say, first of all,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and what prompted you to go on this roller coaster ride.
Yes, indeed. It's a roller coaster and a happening ride. It's forever happening. So I grew up studying, I did my MBA to work in a corporate organization.
Hmm.
And I come from a family of academicians where studies is most important.
Hmm.
And you study well, you get good grades, and then you join a good organization.
Hmm.
And my goal that time was that, by this time in my life, I would be heading some organization like all my colleagues and all my friends are heading currently. So they
Hmm.
all are very well placed in the corporate world. And I didn't think beyond that.
Hmm.
However, I was working in Bombay for a little less than 2 years in
Hmm.
my job, which was with ITC hotels, and I was with the marketing office.
Hmm.
So our job was really fun. I enjoyed it. Was meeting a lot of people and socializing with them, and always we are selling hotels, five-star hotels. So you start to
Hmm.
associate your life with the five-star hotel.
Hmm.
And then I don't know. It was like I never thought that I would do anything else but grow in the corporate world,
Hmm.
travel around, and that's life.
Hmm.
But I remember all of a sudden there was a little less than 2 years. There was like I was in a bus, and my sister, we used to live in Juhu,
Hmm.
and my sister and me, my sister makes movies, so she was even more, I would say, rebellious to
Hmm.
choose a career which was very different.
Hmm.
And we had moved we were living in Juhu together. We moved out of a family house, so that we were being rebellious. And
Where was your
then
family house? In which place?
in Bombay, we were living with my brother, but I was
Oh, okay, same
raised and
place.
born in Baroda.
Okay.
And so it was a small city girl. And then we were in Bombay. I was working in Bombay. And the time came, we moved out of our homes.
Mm-hmm.
And that time, my sister said her production house is in Andheri.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I had never been to Andheri. We've been to Bandra, maximum Juhu. Andheri seemed like to be in another world if you're familiar with Bombay. It's really chaotic, very crazy, densely populated.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's beautiful. It
Mm-hmm.
has life throbbing there. While I live in the West, I
Mm-hmm.
miss that. And Manish, then when we went to Andheri, my office, which used to be in Churchgate, shifted to Kolaba. So this is like two far ends of Bombay.
Mm-hmm.
And there used to be an air-conditioned bus which picked me up from Andheri and took me to Kolaba
Mm-hmm.
and took like 2.5 hours or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes even 3 hours journey. And I guess some introspection happened in that.
Mm-hmm.
And some voice was telling me, and as if some progression happened in my mind, which showed me my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I continue doing this life, how I will grow in the corporate world.
Mm-hmm.
And like in a zippy, I saw my life that
Mm-hmm.
day in and day out, I would be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And once this came into me, this glimpse, I was just restless. I didn't know then what I would do. And I was a dropout. So I really dropped out, and my regional manager called me and he said, "No, no, no, you don't give up this job because people don't give up such jobs." My parents were not happy about it, especially my father, and then I don't know, and just I started to live differently, learning
Mm-hmm.
to learn about myself and doing many different courses. And I ended up in this beautiful place where I met you and many more amazing friends in Pune,
Mm-hmm.
the place of our beloved master. And today is his day. So it's a day of
Yes.
Osho.
Yes.
And my life changed, I guess. This is
Mm-hmm.
it. I think
Mm-hmm.
I was a chosen one, and the energy of master picked me and brought me out of that. Some life I would have lived if I was not living this.
Mm-hmm.
And I started just learning and living, enjoying. I was dancing all the time. You all were playing music, and it seemed like amazing to dance on your music. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
What more?
What more? And I
Yeah.
and this is almost a cliche now when I talk to friends like you
Mm,
or even musicians whom I invite. Some or the other. I mean, this kind of point of reckoning or this always comes in some way.
yes.
It can be changed, the script can be different, but the
Yes.
point of reckoning is always at some point when you say, oh my god, what am I doing? How where
Yes.
if I'm doing if I keep on doing like this, where will it lead me to finally, and what will happen to me? I mean, the sooner it
Yes.
comes in life, the repercussions are of course a little bit different. If it comes later, then also is also fine, because you can always take a U-V turn, whatever, and then you go your where
Yes.
your soul wants you to take to be, like,
Yes.
because the mind goes wants to go in a life situation where everything is like secure and we are financially very sound and everything is taken care
Yeah.
of, and you want all that, and there's nothing wrong in that. But
Yes.
but but this is not probably we have come here for. I mean, it's
Yeah.
in a moment of realization we quickly understand that this is probably not the grind we are going through will go through all days of our lives. So something then shifts, and then we shift, and then lots of other things shift, and then we physically also shift, mentally, emotionally also shift, and the shifts.
Yes.
Then we see that actually it's a roller coaster ride or surfing a wave where we just have to ride one wave about after another, and it's
Yes.
like continuously the journey of oceanic journey. No, isn't it an oceanic journey if you use this metaphor?
Yeah. It has been like this, Manish, because my name, the sannyas name means Anand. It is Anand Veechi, which means waves in the
Wow.
ocean of bliss. So,
See, perfect.
so this madness of life, going high and low and up and down. Finally, somewhere there's a catch. Like, this is becoming like a celebration. Before, I won't understand it, but yes, with meditation in life, and I just felt guided. I don't know. I feel I'm really fortunate to feel the support. And I didn't really struggle a lot financially. It will be wrong to say on my part because I felt supported. And that was not my concern. It was never my concern.
Yeah.
It felt where my energy will flow, energy will come back to me.
Hmm.
But very late in my life, because we are Indian, we're conditioned, we women are not taught to think money or be independent. We're just taught to get married and settle down, no matter how educated we are. So, uh, very late in my life, I understood about what is really freedom
Hmm.
and what is taking responsibility of my own life and life choices.
Hmm.
And yeah, and my work helped me a lot.
Hmm.
That in sharing, I'm growing. This is how
That's
it
true.
is.
That's true. That's true. Or
Yeah.
we all then, at some point, when we have done enough for basic or whatever you can say, work, inner work, let's say, whatever it is, it can be different for different people. But then a stage comes when we start to share, and we see that by sharing, we get more clarity of things, and,
Yes.
and it
Yes.
comes back more and more, again, like a Vici wave. Vicky, can
Yeah.
you lower your camera a bit so that we can see your whole face? Your face is cutting.
Like this. Like
Yes,
this is
yes, a bit.
better.
It's on enough, enough. No, little bit
Yeah.
more. No. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect, perfect, perfect.
It's okay.
Yes, okay.
Better.
Yes, totally fine. No problem. So, like I said, a point comes when we start to share, and your sharing was whatever you learned. Also, like you said, you were guided all through, like we all are, because
Yes.
otherwise, this if this divine GPS is not working, we would simply be, be lost.
I
This
like this
divine
idea,
Google has to
divine.
this divine Google
Yes.
has to be there, otherwise we are lost
Mm.
souls. So yes, it's true. So what guided you to the work you are doing right now, finally, after all these ups and downs and all that?
I started in Bombay doing these circles. I started calling them White and Wise Women's Circles. So after I left Pune, working in ashram for a few years, commune and now resort at whatever state we are in, and I was doing a whole lot of work. And then I somewhere I had a need that I need to create this circle because this appealed to me a lot that I enjoy drinking my chais. I always have cup of masala chai with my coconut milk, and I love sharing. And I said I had so much energy and really blessed living in a beautiful home in Bandra. I opened up my space every week for women around there to come and meditate with me. And then we would have a lot of sharing and melting, drinking chais and eating
And you were
ladoos
doing
together.
doing a tarot also, no? Because you were one time into
Everything, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
okay,
was
okay.
do now I don't use the word tarot, but yes, I was doing a lot of fun things and I met amazing people and really lived the Bombay chapter of my life. Lots of events all the time. And I met some amazing musicians also there and was going to lots of concerts. And then from there, from this Wild and Wise Women's Circle, there was so much happening. And my brother, brothers love their sisters and they feel their sisters are the best. And he had some friends and he said they are very big organizers for some workshops. And I said, I don't know anything. I don't think so I can do. And in the West, they're also smart and I don't have so much of know-how. He said, no, you try and they're ready to take a chance on you. And you go. And so my brother's friend, the two guys, the men supporting my liberation, I would say, the love of men. I've been always loved by men and women. So these men supported me to really have my first retreat. I didn't know. Now I can say this openly and all my participants know this. I really didn't have an idea or a plan what I would do in that retreat. I'd done many courses, not too many, I must say, but I was just being at the ashram. I was just doing white robes and working and dancing, and this is all was my life. So a retreat happened, and first retreat was booked fully, and there was so much magic happening.
Where was it? Which place?
This was in Poland.
Okay.
This was in Poland, and this was in this very beautiful center. I like this center very much. It has a very beautiful hall, around in a big hall.
Osho Center?
It's not an Osho center. There are many centers in
Meditate.
Europe.
Okay.
There are meditation centers, and everybody's going there and teaching there. I didn't know anything about money even that time. I just knew I was happy to go and share. And it happened. It was beautiful. I learned so much. I saw so much beautiful melting happening, healing happening. And I feel really grateful that, wow, I felt like I was chosen to hold the space, run the meditations. And of course, dynamic is something which makes everything really easy. One dynamic is a therapy by itself. And then you do a few things and yeah. So I call my work Wild and Wise Women. And it's really about connecting to the essence of a woman and finding peace with ourselves, with our energies and embracing that. So yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So doing so much work with women, like you said, you are now much deeper into all these things, much bigger also. So you have come across so many women sharing lots of things, their pains, their joys, and you yourself being a woman understands them very, very well. So what really are the issues with women as such in general, even if you can say, but what being a woman means, and the women who understands what their issues probably are, and then are struggling to find a way out. Now this woman, if it is there symbolically, what what could be general issues the women of this space would feel as such? I mean, you can be generalized, you can do generalizing about it, but just for the sake of understanding.
The biggest pain we women carry is the disconnection with the heart.
Which is the strongest point, in fact.
Strongest point, beyond all the primal work we do, the childhood work, the traumas, all kind of conditionings that we've had. We learn from the culture something, from the country, from our education, from our gender. But most importantly, the biggest pain that we carry is that for our survival, we distance ourselves from our hearts. So for a man, he goes into his achieving and he starts celebrating this. It celebrates his success, and he likes this. This is his path. And then he finds his centering. If he is blessed enough, then he will come to his center and find meditation or music, something to take him totally in himself. For us women, we keep looking for this love outside, that neediness that we have in us to be loved. And somehow the society has conditioned us now to become doers. So we go, and especially in the West, women they totally get into action. They are high achievers. So their masculine qualities are well developed. Like in the East, like back home in India, what happens, or Eastern countries, women are in their lot of femininity, where they are totally into flow. They don't really take any responsibility, and they are still living this
Dependent on
life.
men.
Yeah, the family is there, or you need to find the right guy and settle in. So we are still educating our children like that there, not telling them to be independent. But there's a middle path, as our master says, and this is his day to day. So really bringing the best of the East and the West, and reconnecting to the heart, to the simple joys of being ourselves, reconnecting to that flow that we have in each one of us, and just sharing, actually. Women miss that.
So what
We
makes,
need to share. Yeah.
so like you are doing this work, so what would, in your understanding and your and work, what would an ordinary normal woman, what it would be for a normal woman to be wild and wise? Like, what are your criterions for that?
Yes. So this is to be connected with your own fire. So, when I said wild, and people have all these suppressed, ideas coming from the suppression, people start talking about orgies, and wild means having sex and this. And this is really not what I'm talking about. I have been talking about coming into your core, celebrating your life, really um, not waiting for someone or something to happen. A woman can rejoice in where she is, how she is, because this is in our nature. We are connected with the nature very deeply, and the sharing comes naturally to us. We can open up to other person very easily. So really connecting with that fire in us and living it, not being not misusing it or utilizing it only for others, but using it for our spiritual growth, for our um, liberation, where there is joy. Not that I have to do something. I hear this from women all the time from across the globe. I have to do this, as if we don't have a
Duties.
choice. Duties, yes.
Duties.
Woman is, thy name is duties. But actually, it is our choice what we want to do, how we want to create our lives. And we are in the centers of our families, of our homes. And if we are not happy, and if we are not living this fire, and we are not burning in this and celebrating this, then how are we going to make others happy or share love with them? So, yeah. And wisdom is there, connecting with the intuition, connecting with our beings. This is it. Very simple. Being yourself.
Great. And also, from the line of your work, you think Western women are more open for transformation right now, or and more than Indian or Eastern women? Is it
Yes.
so? Okay.
Yes,
How? How
because
much and how?
the first step to liberation is also financial independence for a woman. So Western women, I feel, they are not raised with an understanding of being dependent. So they have already achieved things and they are independent in their life. And then they realize the disconnection that they've had from their heart. So they want to work on themselves to find this connection. Vis-a-vis what happens in the East, we are still longing to, there's a project that I'm working on in India, which is called Pink Pesa, which is about wellness and wealth of women. So,
Very
in
interesting
East,
name. Very interesting name.
yes,
Think
it's
that's
about women's wealth and wellness, because in India we are still not embracing that, and we don't have role models, and we are giving power away to understand that's femininity. No, we are telling our younger generations that you need to be independent first of all.
definitely
Yeah, your mama, your daddy can give you as much money they want, but then you're going to lose your freedom for that.
freedom. Yes, because nothing
Nothing
is
you get
free.
for free.
Yeah, nothing is free. There's no
So
free
it's
child.
better
There's no free child during
you
a
better
path.
learn it early in life. So nothing is free. If you want freedom, you want to create your life, you got to rise. And yes, and in the West, they start already. So they went to another extreme. We are in the East. Slowly, the wave is coming. We are working towards that. But yes, yeah.
So men's groups or men's therapy, whoever are doing, should start a blue pesa or something.
No, it is happening in the world. In the West, a lot of men are also working on themselves. I would say the men's group happens usually parallelly when we were doing women's liberation work. That time, the men's group was happening parallelly with the women's work, because a lot of women are working towards awareness. And that's why in the West now, or in the East, everywhere in the world, uh, it is challenging to find a right partner, because if we are not from the space and the background of meditation, it's very difficult to move on in this
Definitely.
uncertain days in this life. I work with people from Bombay City. There's so much suppression, perversion, um, all kind of issues with the social structure. They won't divorce, but they live together. Then there will be like a lot of stuff. What are we teaching our children? Like a lot of confusion about life. So yes, I feel the systems have to change. We have to own ourselves, be on this path, and everybody need to work on themselves.
Yeah, it's not a consciousness. Consciousness is not gender based as such,
No.
because but our bodies and our human form is definitely gender based. So we have to start from where we are, and uh,
Yes.
and that perspective is a starting point. But of course, it doesn't end there. And as when you grow, of course, good enough, then of course you see that it's the polarities are actually one, and the oneness in
Yes.
polarities, once you start seeing it, then you start seeing oneness in so many other ways. And because everywhere it is polarity, because this earth dimension is of polarities, and
Yes.
and that's beautiful too, because the polarities create so much beauty, energy, and all that flows is because of the polarities. If negative and positive is not there, electricity also will not never flow. So
Yes.
so to flow the electricity between people, between we are also human beings are a group piece in a way, let's say. We cannot understand ourselves totally isolated, because we are not made like that. The DNA is different, because the DNA works is a group DNA in a way, let's say. So we have to come consciously to individuality first to get out of the social group, or collective, let's say collective.
Conditionings,
Yeah,
yes.
and then
Yes.
slowly coming to first our own self. Gender is not an issue, because when you come to the self, then you realize, oh wow, this is actually universal. Of course the
Yeah.
perceptions
So,
are.
yeah. And, Manish, when we were working on this project in India, which we started, it's challenging, it's not difficult. For me, also, the question was like it was challenging me because in my status quo, I have been working from this energy of flow and how things have happened organically for me, and I didn't really go aggressively for something. And then we're working with this Pink Pesa with a project where we say, okay, let's talk about women's wealth and wellness. So bringing the two polarities together, and this has been a biggest challenge because either it is wellness, we're talking about wellness where it is only physical and emotional, and then there is no financial independence our women have. And in the West, it is too much of financial independence, but then there is less of that healing soft space. So really bringing this awareness that we need both the polarities, and life is beautiful, isn't it? It's fun. We can do so much in this
Total fun.
life.
Total fun.
Yes. And all these
Total
experiences that we are having, isn't it? It's just magic we are living.
magic. It's
Yeah.
total magic. See, that's how the play of perceptions are. Like, same thing can be, oh, dragging, or like, what is this? And then the moment you change from inside, or whatever happens, shifts, like I said, and the same thing, the same situation starts turning out beautiful. Same life start bearing fruits and flowers, and then is the time to share, because unless you have fruits and flower, what you will share? So so only the person which has at least reached this much of, because growth and evolution is all endless. No, even enlightenment is not an end. It's just one one perception of seeing things. Also, I would say we are all going in a endless journey of this joy, I would say. And the journey is so joyful because once we are out of this initial hurdles, let's say, it doesn't matter
Yes.
between men and women, everyone goes through this initial hurdles of denials, and then resistances, and then so much this and that,
Yes.
and
It's
fighting
a
within ourselves for no, 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 and fighting with the conditioning, and no, and then suddenly some slowly, after so many days of crying and laughing and all that, and then you see, oh yeah, now it's, after the storm is
yeah.
over, then only you can enjoy the bliss of waves.
Yes.
So what are you
Hmm.
doing these days, Vici? Which waves are you riding on?
I am relaxing a lot, Manish, and
Hmm.
I'm learning to work online, which
Okay.
has been a challenge where was my mind was denying it because I was so much in favor, like all of us. We want people, and we are community people. Like we like people, we want to hug, we want to hold, I want to see them, I want to be there in the space, holding the space for my clients. And but now everything is over online.
Hmm.
So I'm learning. Of course, I'm living my life with my beloved man here,
Hmm.
finding new recipes of creating Greek and the vegan food, bringing it together.
Hmm.
So I've been adventurous with that. And resting and enjoying learning how to be there online, not pushing myself too much. Sometimes it's a lot of introspection which happens in these
Hmm.
days when we are in lockdown still, and
Hmm.
longing to also come to India now.
Hmm.
It has been some time now that I'm here.
Hmm.
I'm missing to be in India.
Hmm. Soon you will.
And yes, soon I will travel. and I'm looking for the options. And let's see when the regulations change. But yes, sharing from my space, because I feel there is this quota of energy that I now am in contact with, and I operate better, and I am a better person who is when I'm working and sharing my energy. So yes, we could also and meditating a little bit. Maybe we get to listen to some music of yours. That will be really nice also. If you would like to play something.
Yeah,
And
and before,
Surbala says, I'm waiting too long for
yeah,
you.
she is
So
also waiting
let's,
somewhere on the earth to come back to
yeah.
Pune.
Yes, yeah,
So, Vichi, if some women or whoever would like to join your group or therapy classes,
yeah,
then what is the process? How to connect with you? How to do that? Like, suppose.
yeah. Ah, Surbala is in Corfu, she's saying. I need to make a, we can't travel even in Greece together. Surbala, we must meet up for sure. And
Yes,
for
sure.
women who would like to join my courses, they are going to be advertised through few channels. Like there will be Pink Pesa, then there is Worldwide Retreats, which is going to
Where are
be
they?
through my
Like they are as a websites, or how
yeah,
to?
there. One is based in South Africa, one is based in India, in Bombay, and you just look for Veechi. There are not many
Aha, नाम ही
Veechis.
काफी है.
हाँ, मनीष, तुम Veechi Shahi एक ही है, हाँ? Like you can find me, and yeah, if you're meant to work together, really you're welcome to connect with me. We can for sure share. And if you need more support, I'm very much here.
So at least
And
tell the website address, like what it
Veechi
is.
Shahi, one is pinkpesa.net.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. The another one is another of my project, which is I love very much, is Namaste Retreats India,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I invite people from across the globe
Mm-hmm.
and bring them to India and give them the experience of detox and transformation.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, and right
Great.
now I'm working from my desk here in my living room, and you can find me on social media, better on Facebook or LinkedIn. Like I'm there on LinkedIn if you are on
Veechi
various
Shahi, Veechi
corporates.
Shahi, and
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
and one can find you.
yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah.
Very nice. So
Mm.
nothing much to ask as such, because this is just a conversation we are having
Yeah. Yes,
for the sake of this connection that we all share from that the commune people we were living once together, or being there once together, and so we
yes,
share that threads of familiarity, let's say, and which brings us back in some ways or other, like to meet again. So when we are
yeah.
physically also possible to meet, then we'll also share that. And so uh,
Wow.
let me
Music.
music, please.
Yes, this is meditation. I feel music is meditation.
Hmm.
And I'm learning to connect more and more. Like, really, I've enjoyed your music so much, Manish. I
Thank you, dear.
must say, it's a blessing, really, to
Thank you.
have known you and, experience this live music and dance and just be, disappear in this bliss, listening to these strings. Like, wow, yes,
When people say, okay, music is my meditation, I hear even musicians say that. I have asked musicians, okay, do you meditate? They say, no, we don't maybe meditate because music is our meditation. Okay, great. I mean, this is a cliche or I don't know what it is. So, I mean, they can answer their own questions later when they can and will. But I can ask you this question right now. When
Yes.
you say music is my meditation, what exactly is meant here? Just for.
So for me, what happens when I listen to a good piece like this, or I play music, we have this hi-fi sound system here,
Mhm.
and we listen to some amazing music my beloved man plays. And
Mhm.
I just sit with my eyes closed.
Okay.
And we know that for 15, 20 minutes, the mind is really active when we close our eyes. But then something begins to settle in me.
Mhm.
Sometimes, every time when I sit with my eyes closed, is also I sense and I feel myself more like I come back home. I can't explain this,
Mhm.
but if I have to make a decision, even or do something, I need to come back home. I need to be into myself. And for that, I need to switch off from everything, everyone. Only thing that can go on in the background is some music, which supports my going in journey. And this is
Thank.
it. I do nothing now. I could be listening to lots of Osho the entire day, or Gangachi, or cooking, or cleaning, or moving and working. But I do sit silently with myself, and I enjoy that. For me, this is meditation in silence, really.
Thank you for this feedback because this is just some feedbacks. I'd like to know what exactly touches people when they say, "Oh, music does this to me, music does that to me." I mean, yeah, I mean, and also I know it's inexplicable. What do you say? Inexplainable. Okay, but
Inexplainable, yes. It
yeah,
brings, instantly, Manish, from head to heart.
okay.
So this it does to me. And then somewhere it is also bringing me very quickly. Like after I stay in the heart, that melting happens. Sometimes you feel this blessed tears running down your eyes. And it's like, wow, for what? And then something in the core. Yeah.
Also, it's a nourishment to our whatever it is we can call being, soul, whatever. It's a nourishment which has wordless nourishment because this is just instrumental sounds, no words, pure
Yes.
vibrations, harmonic
Yes.
vibrations. Because like all
Yes.
strings are tuned to some note, which is creating this vibration of chords, of harmonies, and which is creating like we do in humming. Like recently found out that humming is the most basic, the most effective way to raise our vibrations quickly without, I mean, you don't need any damn thing to 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 do this. Anybody can simply hum like
Amazing, Manish. This is so amazing. It's been after a long time that I hear you, even though we are far away. It feels we are in the same space.
Yes.
And
Thank you,
you have
Vicky.
this blessing. This is such an amazing instrument that you have. This is so nice. Sounds so nice. Ah,
Thank you, dear Vici. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It was really a pleasure and honor to converse with you, to share this space with you online for this Insta live thing. I all my best wishes are with you to continue to do all the good work you are doing, sharing yourself and enriching in the same process which you are doing. When you share yourself, you get back 100 times more what you share.
yes,
So
yes.
I really wish all my blessings, all my good wishes and love are with you. So carry on from here, ride more and more waves, and eat good Greek food in the meantime, and coconut milk chais. You can open a restaurant or something if you like,
Yeah,
but
I
it's not
want to do
possible,
this.
no?
You know what I like this most, Manish? I
Uh,
feel, for a lot of musicians here, when everything was normal in
hmm,
Monastraki, in this area in the center of Athens,
hmm,
there, this park, and there are musicians playing their music there, people selling their things there, and the gypsy in me loves this idea.
hmm,
I feel, I always feel from some past life of mine, I was doing this. I was sitting in these gardens, wearing my flowy dresses and lots of jewelry, of course, because I love my jewelry.
hmm.
And I'm making chai and I'm talking to people through my tarot
Yeah,
cards. And I see
perfect.
myself doing this more and more, because not that I know anything. It is just I'm
Hmm.
sharing whatever, whosoever is coming, you know,
Beautiful. That's it.
in this
That's all.
journey. So I do feel, yes, this is a way. I have no big plans to
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
anything bigger than this. If I could just enjoy a beautiful garden, a park with lots of life around, and masala chai for sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Without it, something is missing.
Yes.
Something is definitely
Masala
missing.
chai is must. I
Masala
could
chai.
make, yes.
Yeah,
And hmm.
great. So, all the best, Vici. If possible, we see
Thank
each
you,
other in
Manish.
some space again. And I wish you really
Yes.
all the best. Thank you so much for joining. And lovely and so heartening to be with you for this hour. Thank you, my dear.
Thank
All
you.
the best.
Thank you, Manish. Thank you for your lovely music, and thank you
Yes, thank you.
always. Yes. For
Yes,
being who you are. Thank you very much.
yes, dear. Bye bye bye.
Hmm.
Good night.
Bye.